It was late at night when my son whispered something that shattered my world. His tiny hands gripped my arm and he said, "Mommy, Daddy has a lover and they're going to take all your money." For a second I thought he was dreaming. But his eyes were wide awake. Terrified. I felt my chest tighten. My name is Rachel, and that moment was the beginning of the end of my marriage. I had been married to Ethan for 8 years. We met in college. He was charming and ambitious. I believed we were building a life together, a family together. We had one beautiful son, Noah, who was only 6 years. Ethan worked long hours in finance. He often came home late smelling like expensive perfume, not the office. But I never questioned it. Because love makes you blind and trust makes you foolish. After Noah whispered those words, my mind wouldn't stop spinning. Who was she? How did my son know? I waited till Ethan left for work the next morning. Then I sat with Noah gently. "Noah, sweetie, what did you mean last night?" He looked down, playing with his toy car. "Daddy talks to a lady on the phone. He tells her he loves her. And yesterday he said they will take all the money and go far away from you." My heart sank. I hugged him, trying not to cry. "Did you see the lady?" I asked. He nodded. "She came here once when you were shopping." Something in me snapped. I wasn't just betrayed. I was being planned against. That evening when Ethan got home, I pretended everything was fine. I smiled, cooked his favorite dinner, acted like nothing had changed. But deep down I was already planning. Planning to find out the truth and destroy his little game. For the next week I watched his every move. His late calls, his sudden meetings, his hidden smiles. I checked his laptop while he showered, but he had a password. So I waited until one night when he fell asleep. I carefully took his finger and unlocked it with the fingerprint sensor. My hands shook as I opened his emails. And there it was. A folder named Dream Life. Inside were messages between him and a woman named Claire. She wasn't just his lover. She was also his coworker. They had been together for months. Worse. They had been transferring money from our joint account to an offshore one under her name. Over $60,000 gone. My vision blurred with rage. I wanted to scream, wake him up and slap the truth out of him. But instead I saved every piece of evidence quietly. Screenshots, emails, transfers, photos. I sent them all to my private email, then deleted every trace. The next morning I kissed him goodbye like nothing happened. He smiled, thinking his lies were safe. But I was already one step ahead. For 2 weeks I played the perfect wife. Sweet, calm, trusting. While secretly working with a lawyer. I found out he had planned to move abroad with Claire. And to make it worse, he had forged my signature to sell one of our properties. My lawyer said, "Rachel, we can catch him in his act. But you have to stay quiet until we have enough proof." So I did. I stayed silent. Every smile felt like poison, but I waited for the right moment. Then one night I overheard him on the phone again. He was in the study, door half open. His voice was soft but excited. "Yes, baby, tomorrow night we'll be free. She'll never see it coming." That was the final straw. The next evening I told him I was taking Noah to my sister's house for the weekend. He kissed me goodbye, thinking it was his chance to run away with her. But I didn't go anywhere. I parked my car a few streets away and came back quietly with my lawyer and 2 police officers. Through the window I saw them. Ethan and Claire sitting at our dining table. Papers and money spread out. Laughing. Planning their escape. I could barely breathe. The officer nodded and went inside. "Ethan Walker, you're under arrest for fraud and forgery." His face turned pale. What's happening?" Claire froze, her mouth open. I stepped inside slowly, holding the printed emails. "You forgot something," I said coldly. "My trust." He looked at me like he'd seen a ghost. "Rachel, listen, it's not what you think." "Oh, it's exactly what I think," I said. You planned to steal my money and run off with her. But you forgot one thing. I'm smarter than you think. Claire tried to speak. Rachel, please, we didn't mean to. I cut her off. You didn't mean to get caught. That's the only thing you didn't plan. Ethan's eyes filled with panic as the officers took him away. The house was silent again. But this time it was peaceful. A few days later I found out he had been charged with multiple counts of financial fraud. Claire lost her job and reputation. As for me, I got every penny back. Plus the house. And full custody of Noah. But the pain didn't vanish overnight. Some nights I'd wake up and remember the man I thought I knew. The man who promised forever but plotted betrayal instead. One evening while I was tucking Noah into bed, he looked up and said, "Mommy, is Daddy coming home?" I smiled softly. "No honey, Daddy is gone for a long time. But we're safe now." He hugged me tightly. "I'm glad you caught the bad guys, Mommy." Tears filled my eyes, but this time they weren't from pain. They were from relief. Because my son had saved me. And because I had saved us both. Months later I opened a small bakery. A dream I'd always postponed. Every loaf I baked smelled like freedom. Every smile from Noah felt like victory. One afternoon I got a letter from prison. It was from Ethan. He wrote that he was sorry. That he lost everything. That he wished he could undo it. I read it once, then tore it into pieces. Because forgiveness isn't owed. It's earned. I looked out the window at my son playing in the yard and whispered, "Thank you for telling me the truth that night. You saved my life." Now every time I see him smile I remember that moment. The night my little boy's whisper became my awakening. And as I lock up my bakery each evening I whisper to myself, he tried to steal my future. But instead I built one without him.